Hello and welcome to this edition of Fact or Fiction, the show that sheds light on the hottest IT solution trends and separates the reality from the hype. In this episode, we're going to tackle the topic of hybrid cloud, and specifically, how to decide which data stays on-premise versus in the cloud. Fact or Fiction. Over the next 5 years, deciding which data resides on-premise versus off will be the #1 challenge for CIOs.
Fact, all workloads aren't created equally. In fact, I believe that there's an element of discovery and analysis that needs to be associated with each workload and where does that workload reside. It's not as easy as saying, hey, let's just take this thing over here and move it to cloud and hope for the best. If I make the wrong decision as an IT leader by moving a workload to cloud and it impacts my business, I am now at risk. I need to make sure that I understand all the aspects and the outcomes that the business is requiring from me as an IT leader to make the right decision for the right workload at the right time and on the right platform. And for those reasons, I believe this happens to be a true fact.
Fiction. Over the next 5 years, the CIOs are going to have a lot on their plate. This problem, I think, is going to be solved for them in a lot of cases. I think things like just the cost of data moving into the cloud, how much that data has to shift back and forth, is going to be dictated more based on the compute workload than the storage workload. Whether my data actually sits on-prem versus sits in a cloud environment will have impact on perhaps what type of regulation I have to deal with around European regulations or whatever else. But I don't see that being the primary challenge a CIO is going to go through. I do think understanding the cost of moving data back and forth will be a major thing they need to consider. But what we've seen over time is bandwidth cost has decreased consistently over the past 10 years, and it seems to be heading that direction, kind of nonstop. So I don't think that you'll see data repository really being that much of a concern for CIOs.
So stay ahead of what's ahead. Learn more from our IT experts or chat with them directly about this and other tech trends. Just complete the forms on YouTube or follow us on Facebook or LinkedIn.